Okay, so before we get started, let me make my drink. For me to decide if it goes to the shelter or if we're going to take it somewhere else. What I usually do, the things that can't go to the shelter, I just donate to a thrift store, unless I know of someone personally that can use it. Let's see. So we have several different bags that we're going to go through. So also a disclaimer, so the shelter that I work with, they want, different things. So what they ask for, other shelters or other places may not accept or may not want. Some of the stuff that is given to the homeless may not make sense to you, and that's okay. There are some homeless people that I've interacted with and worked with personally, and they have put in specific requests. So the things that they might ask for may not be your typical homeless shelter necessity, and that's fine. So you will see things that may not make sense to you for it to go to a homeless shelter, but there is a rhyme or reason why we're giving it to them. Okay, so let's get started. So we're obviously going to give them this. It is the hydration liquid IV. I have bags that we're going to bag the stuff up with. A lot of it has already come in bags, but they're like tied, extremely tight, and they're just not going to be reusable. So I have my bag lady. We're going to bag it up. So the liquid IV, that is something that is always wanted, just so they can stay hydrated. This hotel shampoo and bath gel, I always love seeing that, so that's obviously going to go. Candles, sometimes that's a questionable thing. A lot of times people's like, why do you want candles? Or if they're not against candles, they wonder like, what are these little cactus candles going to do? But candles are always welcome at the shelter, so they're obviously going to go. And so this is going to be like a questionable thing, not for me, but for some. But they like wearing makeup, and there is a homeless woman that I've worked with, and she likes the makeup just because it's a little bit of a confidence booster. And I don't know, when you're going through tough times, sometimes you need that little boost to just keep you going. Everybody's different. It was literally, it's just super cheap makeup. Like, it's fine. Okay. So I'm opening up another bag. So I'm just going to lay everything out that's in the bag, and then we're going to see, what we think. And also, I do wipe and clean the stuff like this. We would wipe down, we would clean the clothes before I bag them. I am going to wash them. I'm going to be going to the homeless shelter 2 times for sure this week, maybe more. I don't know yet. A rule for the shelter that I work with specifically, the clothing can't be too fancy. So we don't do like suits, formal dresses, anything like that. But, nice clothing is welcomed. Okay, so the eyelashes, eyelashes are accepted at the shelter, but let's kind of wipe the plastic off. We obviously have things that are like needed more than an eyelash, for example. Hygiene, clothes, shoes, um, flashlights, stuff like that. That's definitely needed more so than an eyelash. But it's still accepted. There are some shelters that don't accept makeup, that don't accept stuff like this. But this one, they do accept it, so. Okay, so that's going to go in the bag. So these are dog toys. We're going to wipe them down, but not every shelter, I don't know, can you see the dog toy? Okay. Okay. So not every shelter works with pets. This shelter is kind of like a little store for the homeless. So they can come, they can get what they need on certain days, and then they also shelter them certain days and nights, and they welcome the pets. So anybody that has pets and are homeless, they can go. Now, not every shelter where I'm at allows that. I know several that if you have a pet, they won't help you or shelter you. But this one does, and so these are dog toys, and so we're going to take them. Okay, another thing, so this is a Christmas decoration, and I know that this is a part of a set. There are several different, like, pieces to this set. I'm not going to take that to the shelter just because it'll be too much for somebody to carry around, and again, they can't really use Christmas decorations, especially a big bulky thing. So I'm going to see if anybody else, if anybody wants that. So this book, we'll take, it looks like it's like a devotional type book. So books, Bibles, things like that. I like to take rosaries. I'm wanting to make rosaries and take to the shelter too. But any of like the Christian books, well, not any of them, but a lot of them I do like to take, especially if I know that they're good. Same with Bibles, because it really helps encourage and keeps people going. Okay, so now let's go on to the next bag. I forgot this. This was just the coconut sugar. It's a body mist that falls, sort of under hygiene. That can definitely go just so they can stay smelling good. So this shelter is not the only shelter that I work with, but it is the main shelter. Okay, so the next bag, just from looking at it right now, I'm not sure what we can take and what we're not going to be able to. So it's a lot of clothes. So from how I'm going live and filming, you're not going to be able to see the whole piece of clothing, but you are going to be able to see some of it. Shelters like to definitely stay with whatever season we're in, but at a certain point, they do like to start accepting clothes for the upcoming season. So these look like they're long sleeves, and some of them are sweaters. We're getting around that time, and it is time to start accepting donations like that. So it should be okay. Okay, I had to take a drink. So this came from the other bag. It was a powdered foundation palette, and it is really used. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to set it to the side, clean it up some, and we are going to take it to the shelter. If makeup is extremely dirty or basically empty, then I'm not going to take it. Donating makeup is a controversial thing. Obviously, a lot of shelters, they prefer like your makeup and all of your hygiene things like deodorant, which is understandable, but makeup, lotions, perfumes, they prefer soaps, all of that to be brand new. Now, not every shelter does. This shelter doesn't. The other one I work with, it just depends on what it is. But yeah, this shelter doesn't, require it to be brand new, but they do require it to be clean and have some sort of product that the person can still get some use out of. We have to keep in mind that they're homeless, and that is not to degrade or dehumanize anybody, but they are needing the help. So like an opened lotion container or whatever, that's not going to be like a deal breaker. They're going to accept it. They're going to be grateful for it. Same with makeup. I know a lot of different homeless women who, as long as it's clean and it works for them and that it's like usable, there's some product in it, they're going to use it. So this is the weather radio that was donated. It does work. So we are just going to donate it to the shelter. Probably wipe it off. I don't usually donate a lot of like electronic type things, but stuff like this, it actually is accepted at the shelter. And they can decide who or how they want to use it. The people in charge of distributing this. I'm obviously just doing the donating. Okay, let me go get another bag and I'll be right back. Okay, so this was sticking out of the bag. You're not going to be able to see it very good, but I'll do my best. So it's just artificial flowers. We're not taking that to the shelter, so I'll see if anybody wants them. If they don't, we'll donate them elsewhere. Again, for anybody who is just now joining, these donations that I'm going through, they were given to me for me to go through and decide what I can take to the shelter. I'll be going to the shelter 2 times this week for sure. And anything that we can't use, I'll either find someone to take this stuff if they want it and can use it, or I'll just find somewhere else that'll either accept it or it'll just be donated to like a thrift store. Again, as I said earlier, some of the things that I take to the shelter may be something that makes no sense to you. Like, you're going to wonder, why is that going to a shelter? How's that useful? And as I said earlier, it's useful because there are certain people there who specifically request stuff like that. Not everybody, may want makeup, but some people may request it specifically. So this was in the bag. It is just a songbook. I'm thinking, yeah, a songbook. Church of the Nazarene. Okay, I'm not Nazarene or whatever, but we'll like that doesn't matter, what I am. What is this? Okay. Have to make sure nothing's in these books. Like this right here was actually in the book or in the songbook. It's a sticker. It's legalized prayer. And the sticker is actually there. That was stuck inside this book. So the sticker, I think I might actually keep for myself. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm going to keep it. Again, anything I can't take to the shelter, we have to find something to do with it. But the church songbook, I'll donate. Need to get another bag. Okay. So now we have some clothes. So you're not going to be able to see the full piece just because of how we're set up here. But this is a brand new, is it a dress? Yeah, it's a dress. Again, anybody that's new, this shelter does not allow any clothes that's too fancy. So this is not going to be too fancy. It's just like a lace thing, a lace dress. So we're going to take that. Somebody will definitely like it. It's short sleeve. It's still hot out. So perfect. Here's a nightgown that was donated. It's like leopard top and it's extremely long. It's just solid black. So that'll be good. And then like I said, some shelters like to start accepting donations for the upcoming season. So these sweaters that we're going to go through are going to be good because we're getting closer to fall. It's just a gray long sleeve. Lastly, we have a clay mold. That obviously, like, I just don't think we're going to take that to the shelter. So. All of the clothes I'm going to wash before I actually take them. They're going to end up being double washed because they wash them there too. But just in case for some reason they can't, they're going to already be washed. Okay, the next thing is going to be this cardigan. It's just a black and white striped cardigan. And then I think the last couple pieces of clothes that I can see so far that we have, this is a Worthington top. And again, like I said, for anybody new, this shelter does not allow clothes that's too fancy. Worthington can be like a fancier brand, but that top is fine. It's not extremely fancy. It's more so we're talking like formal suits, stuff like that. We just can't take. And then I'm folding up, it's a big gray sweater. It's too big to show y'all, but yeah. So that's the end of the clothing that I can see so far. Let me go get another bag so we can go through it. I want to like to tell me, have you ever worked or volunteered at a homeless shelter? And if so, like, what do you like about doing that? What do you not like? Because there's pros and there are cons to volunteering or working at a homeless shelter. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, that's just the reality of it. So, what do you like? What do you not like? Let me know, and I'll be right back. I'm going to get a bag. Okay, so I'm back with some more bags to go through. Took me a minute, but I found them. So again, the question was, have you ever volunteered or worked with a homeless shelter? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? There are pros and cons to being a volunteer. And like, let me tell you, I have story times, like a bunch of stories about, volunteering and working with them. But nevertheless, I love it. It's very rewarding just because there are genuine people who are really going through it and just really needing the help. But that doesn't excuse, it doesn't, excuse the ones who aren't really needing it and taking advantage of it. But you can't not help somebody because there's people like that. Okay, so I'm going through a bag, laying the stuff out, and then we'll go through it together. Again, this stuff was given to me to go through, and I get to decide, like, does it go to the shelter? Do I need to find somebody else to take the stuff? Or do I donate it to the thrift stores? Okay, so this is a pretty good pile. So the first thing, we have a nail file, and it's new. Yeah. So we'll take that. They'll definitely like it. And that's the cool thing too, like, they can get creative too. Let me think. I'm trying to think what I was gonna say. Puppy pads, or wraps, I should say. The male wraps, you know how there's the diapers for, like, female dogs, and then there's the wraps for males. I donated wraps once. Um, and this shelter, again, does work with homeless pets. It's not just the homeless people. This is one of the few shelters around my area that actually does that. A lot of them does not help the homeless pets. They just leave that up to like the shelters, the animal shelters. But I donated the wraps, and instead of them actually giving them to the, the pets or whatever, they put it with the hygiene products because the women would actually use them as, pads. And that's just like a good example. Like, you may not, I might not, but if you're in that situation and you have no other option and you're in need, you're going to get creative. You're going to do what you have to do to survive. So if you're going through stuff and you're like, well, this is technically accepted at my shelter, but what would they even use it for? Just donate it anyways because they get creative. But there was this couple, one of the last times I was at the shelter, it was a man and a woman. The woman was pregnant, and she was specifically looking for boots and shoes. And I just happened to have had, like, it was my personal stuff, a ton of shoes and boots that I was getting rid of, and we had the same size foot. And it was just really neat to know who you're helping to. It's fulfilling to just donate and know is definitely going to be used and handed out and like to think appreciated. But and the reality is sometimes that's not always the case. But you can't think like that. But when you get to see and help somebody face to face and know like they're really wanting this and you can help them, it's just so fulfilling. But a few weeks ago, I was actually cussed out by a homeless woman. Yeah, so that's like a story time. And right now what I'm doing is I'm cleaning the lash pack up with these antibacterial wipes. And these are brand new lashes, and they're nice too. And a lot of people, again, I'm going to keep repeating myself just because there's different people joining and leaving and joining. Controversial things, that are donated to the homeless shelter. But you have to remember, some things the homeless people will get creative with. They're going to use them in a way you wouldn't even think. And other times, it's just a specific request. Like, that pregnant woman that I worked with, she had specific requests, and it might not be requests as, the next 10 women, but it's her request, and if you can help her and she really needs it, then why wouldn't you? Same with the lashes. There are a lot of people here who they're requesting lashes and just cheap makeup. Now, what for, and why, I don't know. But they are, and instead of donating it to like a thrift store, and not saying thrift stores don't help people, but I just like to think like if this woman is really needing lashes and makeup, whatever the reasoning is, and it's going to really help, then why would I not? So obviously these hygiene, pads, we're gonna give. Okay. So let's go through this pile. Okay, let's see. Do I have my bag? Also, thank you for the compliment on my nails. And when the fur video that I'm actually going to be filming in the next couple of days. I went out of town this last weekend, and like, oh my gosh, it was exhausting. And so I vlogged and I recorded my trip out of town, and so I have that to edit. And then after that, but I've actually been collecting more fur things, so it's gonna be like a good video. And as far as comments, please comment, like, subscribe. I am actually sitting to like the side of the phone, so I'm not really seeing comments all that great, but I will check them occasionally. So here are some socks. Yeah, they're brand new socks. They're supposed to have like the matching socks for your dog, but they don't. That's fine. Like somebody's gonna use the socks, they're not gonna care. Brand new lashes. And I'm just bagging everything up. I go to the shelter 2 times this week. So a stylus, and some earbud covers. So the stylus, a lot of people, and like I can't say this is for every area or state or town, county, whatever, but where I'm going to work, or like take this to, there are some programs that homeless people can get phones. So if you see like a homeless person and they, before you judge and say, oh, they're not homeless because they have a phone, that's not necessarily true. Where I'm at, there are programs who give homeless people phones in hopes that, that's going to help them get on their feet, find the right connections, whatever. And yeah, so I'm not talking about the shelter we're taking all of this to, but there's another shelter and they're partnered with the program. And there were about 30 different homeless men who had phones. And I got to speak with several different ones, and they were, legit homeless. Right now what I'm doing is I'm putting that on a rag so we can wipe some of it off. But anyways, there were about 30 different homeless men, had phones, legit homeless, and it was just because the phone was given to them. Like, that's why they had it. That didn't make them any less homeless. So don't judge just because you see a phone. Now, does that mean like there are some homeless who aren't really homeless? Yeah, like that's still the reality of the world we live in. But dental kit, we'll take it. This shelter, like I said before, works with homeless pets. So these tampons, they're just out of the box. We'll wipe the plastic off, but they're going to be taken because the women are going to need the hygiene products. This one, though, I'm going to throw away because it is open. So we're going to throw that one away just because even though it's not used, it is opened and, it could cause like infections or whatever. So these press-ons, somebody put in that bag we just went through, most likely, there are several different nails like missing out of these boxes. We're still going to take them just because the homeless women here, they don't care to mismatch the nails. They don't care like I know several different ones that are going to definitely use those. And then these ears, I don't know what to do with the ears, guys. Like, I don't know. Do I donate them to the thrift store? I can't think of anybody who's going to want to use them. I definitely don't. Or do we take them to the shelter? Like, you know, I don't know. It would probably be picked up just for the fun of it, or maybe that's like somebody's actual style. I have no idea. So what should we do? Should we take these to the shelter or what? Let me know. Now let's find the next bag. Hunter Smith Catholic. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Again, guys, comment. I'll check your comment. I'm sitting to the side of my phone, so like if I'm slow to read or awkward as I'm reading, it's because I'm reading with my head cocked. And that's just always awkward. And where did I go this last weekend? So I went to the Eucharistic Congress in West Plains. Yeah, and if you don't know what the Eucharistic Congress is, it was basically just like a fun, like big event / convention type thing for Catholic people, or not just Catholic people, but like anybody who may be interested in being Catholic. But it was really fun. But it was like hours away from where I live, and I had to get up. I got literally no sleep. I had to get up at 2 o'clock Saturday because I had to leave my house by 4 to meet who we were riding with by 5. And then we had to leave their house and go to a Catholic church to pick up more people that was riding with us. And so then we got on the highway by 5:30, and it was a long drive. And then I got home super late, then got back up super early for church, Sunday. But it was fun, and I'm going to edit and post a video. But let me tell you guys, it did not go how I was hoping it went. It did not go how I planned on it going. But sometimes that's okay. Okay, so this hat, it's got some staining, like, on it, on the rhinestones. It would be a cute hat otherwise, but let's look it over, see if the jean or whatever is okay. Maybe wipe it off. But I think it's fine. We'll just donate it anyways, and they can decide if they want to throw it away. But I'm like very positive somebody is still gonna wear it, even though some of the rhinestones are dirty. Okay, the next thing was this. It's a cup. We'll donate that. We'll wash it before we take it though, so I'm gonna set that to the side. Now this is like lingerie piece. I don't know what to do with that yet. Okay. Nail polish, obviously, we'll take that. Yeah, we'll take it, donate it. This bandana, it is so cute. I really like this bandana because look at the rhinestones. I think it's so cute. But we'll donate it. Somebody is definitely going to use this bandana. Like, I already know for a fact. This was in that bag too. I don't know what it is yet, so we'll set it to the side because if we can't find, I'm assuming, flower pots to go in these, then we're gonna have to probably find somebody that either wants just a random metal frame, or we'll just trash it or donate it or something. What new fur things that I got? I got a new jacket, pillow, and I'm having some people look for me some other, and I'm hoping that I can maybe go tomorrow to see if I can find anything. We'll see. Okay, let me see if there's any more bags for us to go through. And I just decided to, go live, go through some stuff that we may take to the homeless shelter this week. We're taking a lot so far. But that's something about me, guys. I love working with the homeless people. This shelter specifically that we're going to, like I said earlier, they help the pets. Like, if you're homeless and you have a pet, they're going to help you. There are several different shelters here. If you're homeless and you have a pet, they're not going to help you. So I like that about them. They also help men, women, and kids. There's several here that will only help men or women. Unfortunately, not even like the kids. So this shelter is like a really good shelter, and I really like it. Okay, so these shoes look like they were just painted by somebody. They are Toms. We'll wipe them down. It's the Arkansas Razorback design. Yeah, there's the price. I'm assuming they came from a thrift store. You can see in here, guys, it's signed. I'm assuming by like whoever painted it. But we'll donate them. You cannot go wrong with donating shoes to a shelter. Now, as I said, I have story times too when it comes to working with the shelter. I was cussed out by a homeless woman a few weeks ago. There's the ugly side to it, but then there is that rewarding side. And I can kind of give you, if you want to hear a little bit about how I got cussed out, I can kind of give you a little bit of a story, but I am going to make a video on it too. But it was like, oh my God, it was irritating. Yes, and that big fur blanket, that is definitely going to be on it, or in the video. I'm excited for that video. I really am. Okay, let me go see if we have another bag to go through. And if you want to hear a little bit about how I got cussed out by a homeless woman, let me know. And then I'll tell you. Yes, it makes good conversation. I actually had, it's not the blanket that you've sort of seen, but I had another fur blanket, and it was leopard, and it wasn't technically weighted, but it was heavy. And so, like, if you didn't know any better, you would think it was a weighted blanket. Um, but I ended up actually giving it to the homeless shelter. But not just like in general, it was a homeless pregnant woman, and that's who I gave it to. I did kind of feel bad for donating it, giving it away, but at the same time, it's like, it's just material things. I still, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had it still, but it was more rewarding to know it was being, it was genuinely needed and like wanted. So I'm wanting to find a fur rug. I'm like redoing things. I'm really wanting to find a fur rug and more fur pillows. Okay, so this is the new stuff that we're going to go through, but let me fix this light because my dog knocked it over. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Um Okay, so we have these Francisca. Stop. That is my dog, by the way, Francisca. So if we have any Franciscas in the chat, no, I'm not telling you to stop. I'm telling my dog to stop because she keeps knocking this light over. Chopsticks, we'll donate. I'm sure somebody is going to use the chopsticks. I probably have the most in blankets. That's probably what I have the most of, blankets. But I did get a new fur jacket. That's going to be exciting to show as well. Dog toy, again, the shelter helps the homeless pets, so we'll donate it. But I really want to find a rug. And honestly, though, I want to find more fur, like, I do want more fur jackets, but I'd like to find shirts or something because we're starting to get into fall, and, then winter will be here before we know it. But I like wearing, like, fur to events or church or whatever, and I'm going to have a lot of different events coming up. And I don't always like wearing jackets, because I think sometimes jackets can add weight and make you look a little heavier than you are. So it would be nice to have like a shirt or something nice, fancy. I don't know, anything along those lines without it being a jacket. So it still is fitting, but it's still fur. If that makes any sense. So this lotion, I just wiped the bottle off. It's called, let me move this out of the way. Like crystal candy. And it smells so good. But I have way too much lotion, so I definitely don't need to keep it. But we'll donate it. Yeah, and speaking of lotions and like perfumes, when it comes to wearing fur, you have to be careful Because one thing I've noticed, certain lotions or perfumes or body oils, like when it gets in the fur, it can actually do some damage. It can mess it up. I don't like when the fur gets sticky, you know, and it sticks together. Um, and so you have to be careful with like the lotions and perfumes that you wear. So this metal frame that I was telling y'all about, it is apparently flower pot holder. I'm not going to give this to the shelter just because what are they going to use this for? So I'm going to see if anybody wants it. If no one wants it, then I'm going to donate it to the thrift store. Here's a fancy looking shirt. It looks like somebody put in the bag. It's got like gold sparkles. It's Dress Barn. And all the clothes I'm going to wash. They get washed when you donate them, but I'm going to wash them before we take them. And when I was out of town, I was going to go live. I was going to go live when I was out of town, but let me tell you, it did not go as planned. It wasn't anything like I expected, I was hoping for, I was planning on, nothing like that. It still went good, but I just did not go live. Here's another shirt. It was donated to Walmart. So we'll put that with the clothing over here. The good thing about this, like, homeless haul this week, they're going to have a variety of, like, short sleeve, long sleeve. So, yeah. And then this, I know I've been putting this up here. It's like a snake hut or reptile hut. And I've said before that this shelter works with homeless pets, like dogs, but they also help, like, cats, reptiles, whatever. If you're homeless and you have that. Now, if you're not homeless and you're needing help with your pet, unfortunately, they're not going to help you. That sweater that you were talking about, that sounds, was it pretty? It kind of sounds pretty. It sort of sounds like something that I would probably wear, depending on the color and how it fit. And where do you like to get your fur? Like, is there a specific place? I'm definitely going to put that for a video together, but I was also thinking about doing like a live or something where I go shopping for fur. I think that would kind of be fun. Okay, so I know that there's nothing like right here. Stick with me. I'm going to take all of the bags that we have put together. I'm going to put in this basket, and then I'm going to see if we have anything else to go through. That does sound pretty, like a dark turquoise. I love turquoise, actually. That's one of my favorite colors. And yeah, pre-owned fur, if it's cheaper and it's good quality and it's nice, then that's like a deal. I'm not one of those people who need everything brand new. That's just not who I am. So pre-owned is good with me as long as it's nice and good quality. And worth whatever I'm paying for. Like, I know you can't expect it to be pre-owned and then expect it to be flawless, but still needs to be, nice. Yeah, fur is extremely expensive. On Facebook, there's like a group that I'm in, and they sell fur, and it is outrageous. So it looks like Francisca did it again. Knocked the light off once again. Okay, so I have one more box to go through. Yeah, so one more box. And then I have plans to potentially go live again tonight. Not to do a homeless live, but it'll be a little funner, more spontaneous. So just stay on the lookout for that. Um, that kind of made me laugh. So yeah, so no, I'm not that either. I like both. I like real and the fake fur. The group that I was talking about, they sell both, but I'm assuming that most of it, well, no, I actually take that back. It is a mixture of both. And then as far as what I have, the majority of what I have, I think, is fake. Now, that blanket that was in the last live, I honestly don't know if that's fake or not. I don't know how, is there a way for me to find out? So these shoes were in the box. We're going to wipe them off. They're brand new. They're American Eagle. Somebody at the shelter, they're going to snatch these up. Unfortunately, what I've seen with shelters, and there's certain ways to like spot it, but they'll take the name brand shoes to just sell. But it's just part of how shelters and the people are. Like, you can't judge. I love working with the homeless. I just try to think of the genuine people who's really homeless, and who's really going to benefit from whatever I give and however I try and help. But there are people who are going to be like, just try and take advantage. The homeless woman that cussed me out a few weeks ago, she was an example of not taking advantage because she is genuinely homeless, but she was an example of just like a bad attitude. But again, sometimes those bad attitudes that you get from the homeless people, it's nothing personal, and it's nothing personal. It's just maybe it's because there's a war, a battle that they've not been able to win, and they just project it all, take it out on people who try and help. Or even if you're not helping, just a random person, if they see that you're maybe doing a little bit better than they are, they're going to take it out on you. It's still not an excuse, you know, and it's still irritating, but I just try and, after I got irritated from that woman, I just tried to pray for her, but like, it irritated me, guys, and I wanted to so badly say what I was thinking, but I didn't. Yeah, so if it feels more like a cat or a dog, so both of my dogs are like long-haired. Francisca, the troublemaker today that keeps knocking over everything, she is a little bit more furrier than my newest dog. And the blanket that was in the last live feels just like her. It doesn't feel plastic at all. Like I'm sitting in that chair right now, and that blanket is behind me, and I'm feeling it right now. It feels just like my dog. So I'm wiping out these baskets, and then I'll show you. Okay, so this is this is a chocolate scented rabbit. Um, we'll donate it just because a dog could maybe play with it, or I don't know. Maybe there is a kid. Maybe there's just a homeless person who just wants a chocolate rabbit. I don't know, but we'll donate it. And then we have these baskets. They're apparently Easter baskets. Kind of like Crocs. They come with this. There's a green. There's a blue. They're brand new. We'll take them. In this case, you know, a homeless person is not going to care if it's Easter, if it's Christmas, if it is Valentine's Day, if it's a holiday, if it's not a holiday. If it's a bag and they're genuinely homeless, they're going to be appreciative because they just are. And then we have these tops. They're brand new, it looks like. They still have the tag. It's just a short sleeve. So that's good. We'll put with other clothes to wash. This one is a white puffy sleeve. It's nice. These are on the fancier side, but not too fancy, so they'll accept them. Let me see if there's anything else to go through on this live. I'm going to go live on Facebook next. It is going to be another homeless live, I think. But instead of going through stuff that's already been sort of gone through, but it's like, you know, the next step was for me to go through to see where it actually goes. It's going to be me going through my own stuff and seeing if I want to give it to the shelter or if I want to give it to a thrift store or to someone that I know. All of this stuff was not my stuff. This stuff was gone through by others, given to me for me to go through. I got to decide where it went. The next live is going to be on Facebook, and it is going to be me going through my own personal stuff. So let me see if there's anything else, though. And as I look, I'll put some of that fur blanket down. I can't lay it out because there's other stuff around on the table, but I'll put a little bit down so you can see it. But let me show you the bottom of it first. So this is the bottom. And it's super soft. And then let me turn it over. It sort of sheds, but not that bad. And then this is it. And it's, you know, it feels like my dog. Feels like Francisca. So I'll leave that there. Let me go see if I have anything else. We'll go through it, and then if not, I'm gonna go jump on Facebook, and if anybody wants to follow me on there, feel free. Come on. Okay, I'm back. I had to go to the other room, the other end of the house. You heard any ruckus. It was the dogs again. And man, I am thirsty. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might be, I don't know if there's a tag somewhere. Then we could, like, find out, maybe. I just know it's big, and but I'm gonna see what I can find out about this blanket, and then when I make that video, I'll be sure to include what I have found out. But even if it is fake, it's one of my favorite blankets. I don't use it much just because I'm afraid of messing it up because it's so pretty. But I found one more bag. We'll go through it, and then after that, I'm going to be on Facebook. Okay, let's see. Got something in my eye. So this we can donate in case anyone has a kid. And this is a sensory toy. It also says stress relief. So, you know, maybe they're just nervous, stressed out from being homeless. We'll donate it. This will wipe off because it's got like fuzz and stuff on it. It's just a hat. And you know, we're getting in the colder weather. Obviously not today. It feels like the opposite of heaven. That's what it feels like today outside. And this will donate. What is this? A slime kit. That is really cool. I'll set this to the side. I'm not sure what to do with this. And then these will wipe off. This is from the Dollar Tree, the vanilla. But we'll wipe it off. We'll donate it. Somebody's definitely going to get this. But that's it from that bag. So everything that was bagged up for me to go through, we've gone through. I'm going to start, I just wanted to go live to, you know, let you guys in some more so, like, you get to know me more. I like the homeless, like helping the homeless. I don't like being cussed out by the homeless. Sometimes that's what happens, but that's just part of it. But yeah. Thank you so much. And I love talking about fur as well. It's really encouraged me to want to expand my collection. And like I said, that video is going to be coming soon. It was postponed just a tad bit because I was going out of town. And so I have to edit all of that. On my Facebook and other stuff, like, I share a lot about my faith and like the church I go to, and so this event was like a big staple for just that aesthetic and the stuff that I like to share. So I want to definitely get all of that edited and posted just because it's like the prime time to share that kind of stuff. And I want everybody to see, you know, the stuff that I got from the Congress, not just everybody else's content from the Congress. So that's why it was postponed, but it's coming. And then I'm also going to be, like I said, I have people looking for fur things. And if I have time, I'm going to go and I'm going to like search for more things, specifically rugs. But yes, I'm just so glad that everybody joined in, supported me, um, and yeah. So it was a fun live again today, and I'm going to probably be back on here tonight, not as a homeless live. It's going to be something better, something funner, and a little bit more spontaneous. But this was just to give you a glimpse of what I do typically do through the week. And I'm going to the shelter twice today, or not today. That would be bizarre. I'm going to the shelter twice this week for sure. But yeah. So that's it for this live, and thank y'all so much. And I'll see you guys like soon. Again. We will meet again.